All right, what is needed for Krebs? Actually, I have to go one slide back. We're here. So, glycolysis is over. Where did all of this happen? Cytoplasm. What was the products of glycolysis? Two pyruvates, 4 ATP, and NADH. Okay? You don't have to know amounts of NADs, NADH, FADs, or FADH. Only amounts of ATPs. Okay? So what's going to happen to the ATP?
Turn into ATP.
Because the cell is going to use it for all its functions. The pyruvate is going to move on from the cytoplasm to where? The mitochondria, if and only oxygen is present. Because in order for cellular respiration to complete its process, oxygen has to be floating around the cell and kind of like saying, come over here, pyruvate, right? I want to start what part of the cellular respiration cycle? Krebs, and then complete it with? Electron transport chain. All of those two processes will occur in the powerhouse of the cell, which is what? The mitochondria. And the overall products are going to be 36 ATP, average. The number of ATPs varies, and there's no exact number because it depends on the hydrogen ions. The waste products, okay? So we had glycolysis already taken up. Oxygen, which are the two reactions of cellular respiration. The products are ATP, and what are the two other products? Cellular respiration.
It's ATP, carbon dioxide, and
water and carbon dioxide. And that makes the reaction complete. If oxygen is not present, Krebs and ETC will not happen, and we'll talk about what happens if oxygen is not present on Monday, okay? We're going to focus on Krebs next. Krebs is also known as the citric acid cycle, okay? The cycle part actually takes place right here. What do we need in order for Krebs to start? Pyruvate. What else do we need? NAD and no ATPs needed. There's no more investment phase. FAD, okay? Looking at this diagram, what happens to pyruvate? It gets broken down into what? CO2. It's really COA, and then acetyl coenzyme A. Got it. So you have pyruvate here. Here's a little mini diagram, and it's converting into this compound, which is going to enter this cycle. And I think you guys did a really great job of describing that process. That is what's called the citric acid cycle, and then it starts. Now, in between that cycle, what do we got going on here? NAD is turning into NADH, and FAD over here is turning into FADH. All of these are going to be really important because they contain hydrogen ions which produce massive amounts of energy in the electron transport chain. Hence electron, right? Hydrogen ions have electrons. Okay. And what else is made? ATP, how many? Two. Two ATPs are made during Krebs. What else? What's my waste? Look at the diagram if you don't know. That's not a waste.
ADP.
No. CO2. Good job. Carbon dioxide is my waste product. And again, one more compound of those compounds you have to know. We're going to expose this. These are like, all these diagrams are reviews, okay? They're going over what we've already covered in a different way. Glycolysis, by definition, is what? Breaking down of glucose. So my original molecule is glucose. Now, I've highlighted glucose. Any idea why I highlighted it? Highlighted it? Because it's one of the major components of the overall reaction of cellular respiration. So in this diagram, anything that's highlighted in pink is a reactant of cellular respiration, And whatever's highlighted in yellow is a product of cellular respiration, okay? What happens to glucose in glycolysis? It's broken down. How? What breaks it? Good. How many? Two. So 2 ATPs come and attach themselves to the glucose and they crack it in half. What else is needed or comes into glycolysis? NAD. Good. Now, when glucose splits, it's a 6-carbon sugar. It turns into a 3-carbon sugar called pyruvate. What else is made? 4 ATPs and NADH. Awesome. I don't know this. So where did all this happen? This. Cytoplasm. How does this move on to here? There's got to be oxygen floating around. Where is it? I don't know. I don't see it here, but it's there. Okay? If not, it halts and it's over. Cellular respiration didn't finish. Okay? Glycolysis finished. Cellular respiration didn't. Now, if I tell you what is Krebs and electron transport chain called, what do you call it? Together, they make up aerobic respiration. Okay? All right. So, where are we if we start Krebs? And the mitochondria. What goes into the mitochondria to start the Krebs cycle? Pyruvates. What happens to pyruvate? It breaks into acetyl coenzyme A. Okay. What else goes into Krebs? NAD and FAD. My pyruvates that turn into acetyl, NADs and FADs all in the mitochondria, making what during Krebs? NADH, FADH, 2 ATPs,
and CO2.
And the waste, which is CO2. Good job, guys.
Wait.